Welcome in, gang. Coach pumped to have you. Wasn't planning on doing this one, but Coach has to go Super Saiyan. His brain's like swirling in real time, so let's try to get some of these out. So Coach got to thinking, man, it's kind of fishy. The Michigan Wolverines football team got a championship right before the Eagles won the Super Bowl when they had Brian Dawkins, who was the Wolverine. And Carmelo Anthony's on the cover of 2K26 this year. He got chased out of Houston, which was Daryl Morey and James Harden. James Harden's on the Clippers now with Kawhi, who broke Joel's heart and made him cry. Daryl Morey, the GM who essentially fired Carmelo, he's now running the Sixers. Or at least was until very recently, unless there was some big change Coach doesn't know about. Now, obviously we know about Carmelo Anthony and Fab Melo. You don't hear Fab a lot. Of course, you think of the Fab Five, which coincidentally Michigan again, right? And the Michigan Wolverines basketball team is very suspiciously good. One of their stars, Chris Webber, got hosed by Tim Donaghy against Kobe's Lakers the year after Iverson made the finals. He goes on to team up with Iverson. In Philly, another Fab Five member, Jalen Rose, like Jalen Hurts, who just won the Super Bowl, was on the Pacers, and the Pacers were just in the finals. So Coach is thinking, probably some weird Michigan-Philly thing. Of course, we know about the Eagles-Lions beef. Now, there's so many of these slides, I don't really know, what I was planning on saying. So let me just, get out of my mode, and then we'll just try to go through it. So let's see. Broncos, Chiefs, unwatchable disaster. I'm thinking Chiefs win, right? Gardner Minshew's not that bad. Garner, it's kind of like Garland. I've been seeing Gardner a lot. Sauce Gardner had his ACL torn. Coach looking at Josh Hart and thought for sure he looked like Eric Andre, so just throwing that out there. Here was a bet Coach liked. I actually ended up putting one in better. Sixers to beat Lakers, I don't buy nearly as much as Sixers beating Clippers. I'm sold on Sixers beating Clippers now. That makes too much sense. I like LeBron losing to the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. Now, and him leaving for the Clippers next year would be hilarious. Or the Celtics, right? That would probably be the move that makes the most sense. Go team up with Tatum. So 50 cents on just the matchup of Sixers versus Clippers with Rams to beat Pats. It's 50 cents to win $23,000. I couldn't believe the odds on that. Clippers doing us a huge solid there. Luckily, a lot of people not sold on the Sixers either. But, just a couple years ago, they had that huge finals. Not finals, right? They had the huge playoff matchup between the Knicks and the Sixers, where the Knicks hosed us. Coach watched his Sixers beat the Knicks tonight without Joel Embiid. I don't know if I've ever seen the Sixers look this good. It was crazy. It's like every time they get the ball, you just know they're actually running and going to get a dunk or something. What the fuck? Whose team is this? Not my team. So, just saying. No. I'm glad we took Oregon instead of Oklahoma. I didn't mean to do a betting segment here. I was just keeping that in case we needed it. What did I see here? So one thing that stood out to me is Drummond banging threes. So it's really nice that he's evolving his career. It's interesting that he was a Piston. Also interesting, Phil Jackson coached Carmelo. And famous, said he couldn't be a champ, all that sort of stuff. LeBron, Melo's had, to me, Melo always got the the dirty end of the stick. Like, there's no way he's just not an NBA caliber player anymore. That's insane to me. The reason I took this picture is because that BP logo, it's just so bad. It's such an eyesore. There's no way the Knicks are good for it. I mean, it is hideous. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, so they changed that overtime rule, right? So the Rams went to overtime, scored a touchdown first. Seahawks score a touchdown, go for 2, and win it off of, the fumble. There's a Dos Equis commercial that's, go for Dos, and, they sponsor the college football thing. I'm thinking the Super Bowl with the Rams. I think Drake May. That'd be the fucking perfect way to you could still build May up like he's Brady. That's the softest way to let someone down ever. Have Bray. So the Rams win the coin toss, elect a kick. May comes down, scores a touchdown, kicks the extra point, put the ball in Stafford's hands. He leads them down, using 4 downs the whole way, scores a touchdown. He probably throws in the 2-point conversion too. Throw it back to Kurt Warner, greatest show on turf. And that's easily the most exciting Super Bowl I can imagine. God, they could definitely milk the ad time. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here's our Mello. Coach thought this was very interesting. So there's this cat in the league right now named Tyler Lockett, who at least was a Seahawk. I think he's on the Raiders now, but he was a Seahawk, and he's known for, avoiding contact at all costs. He literally just, dives into the turf if you, get within, 10 yards of him, basically, right? So, thought it was interesting. There's another Lockett who also played for the Seahawk, and he's known for having his career ended with, a brutal neck injury, right? So, thought that was very interesting. He held up the L for love, Legion of Boom. So the L sign definitely means something. The name's just one off, the one letter off, so it ends in an E, the other doesn't end in an E, otherwise spelled the exact same. Sam Bradford for Nick Foles trade. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm fucking floored that Oklahoma went out that bad. The saving grace, of course, being, they did play Alabama. It's not like it's a team you think that has a 0% chance of winning. I just definitely thought Oklahoma would be good for one home win and possibly most likely beating Indiana as an upset as well. So that makes it all a lot squirrelier. We'd never like to lose the first college football game of the playoffs, but at least it wasn't a team we had winning it. No, let's see, anything to add there. Just thought with all the Bradford stuff, man, I just thought for sure if it's tied to the Rams, but, maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, definitely when I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, Bradford was, traded for Foles. And, so it's we traded Bradford for Foles and then got rid of Foles and got Foles back. Or no, we traded Foles for Bradford. Eagles fans hated Bradford. And then we got Foles. But yeah, that's how it works. So Sam beating Sam Bradford. Or Sam Bradford's team, right? The Rams. This, blew my mind to Tory Blaylock. We just talked about the Blaylocks and stuff. He went to this high school. Obviously, I don't care nearly as much now. I wasn't that excited. It's just there's an Eagle. Let's see. Oh, this is nice. So, Coach is a little torn in college basketball. He likes the Kentucky Wildcats a lot. He likes the Wildcats a lot, and he likes the Fab Five too. I like them going head to head. That's my fun. Man, I like the idea of Kansas a lot too, but give me Michigan Wolverines versus Kentucky Wildcats. That's hard. I'm thinking Michigan wins. Now, this cat, so they've been waiting for him. So Kentucky kind of off to a shaky start, but this guy's made his debut yet. Cleveland native, what do you know? And, they talk about past anchors, Nerlens Noel, Sixer, Willie Cauley-Stein. He ended up getting traded to the Sixers. Bam Adebayo just did the 6'7" meme with the Sixers. We've talked about the Bam stuff. Coach really likes Kentucky, and he really likes Michigan. So those are his two teams he's picking to go to the finals. Like you say, he also really likes Oklahoma, right? But they might have to suffer a little bit longer. So those would be three of his final four picks. And then, I like that they won it 67 years ago. And 67 years ago, so that would be from 58. And 76 years ago from 49. Also 77 years ago from 48 if you need the edge come over, or the Luca or something to go with it. Coach found Transylvania University. That was originally Kentucky. Did you know this? Kentucky University was Transylvania University, and this school still exists. They're just not called Kentucky University anymore. Transy. Ooh, boy. Lumine. Oh, man. This easily the sketchiest place in America. Holy shit. They had a trademark infringement when Hallmark Cards began selling Transylvania University t-shirts. Sorry. As a Halloween gag, of course, the school objective, and Hallmark said, "Yo, sincerely, our bad. We had no idea you guys were for real. We didn't know that was a real place, dude. Sorry, nobody did. Why don't you have any sports?" And they're like, "Well, we're fucking vampires. And y'all don't like trans athletes, so that's why. Watch out for trans you winning everything soon." Let's see. Oh, man. You're going to like Kentucky a lot after this one. Point shaving. They got the death penalty in 52. Boy, oh boy. This was crazy, too. It was Ralph and Dale. Those hucksters. So, of course, Ralph and Dale Earnhardt. Oh, boy. And they shaved points against the Loyola Ramblers. So the Gamblers shaved points against the Ramblers. Oh, clever. Oh, boy. Okay. You don't want your team playing the Ramblers. They posted a perfect 25-0 record. Of course they did. So stupid. Okay. So Deion Burks, we like that because it's like Deion Sanders. Right, this cat's on the Sooners too. Obviously, the Sooners are eliminated. Just letting you know, Coach he had these here. We'll still talk about it. Right, so the reason I didn't find a lot on him, but it did make me think more about the Sixers. And I was like, oh yeah, we had Trey Burke. That's a Michigan Wolverine, and he modeled his game after Iverson. I remember that. He's from Columbus, Ohio. So he only played the 1 year with the Sixers, but it happened to be the same year that Alec Burks was in town. The Sixers never needed any Burks before that, but that year they just had to get a pair of Burke. They had to buy Birkenstock. They had a pair of Birkenstocks. Okay. What the hell? So we like that Puka's in the news for weird reasons. So his brother stole an NBA player's car. His brother's name's Sampson. That reminds Coach of Dylan Sampson, of course, on the Brownies. Here's Puka and Luka swapping jerseys. You knew they weren't going to miss a chance to have that gag. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Coach never yawns. Okay, now, Puka making fun of Sauce Gardner here, saying nobody wants to be in Indianapolis. I thought that was funny because Coach told Eric Dickerson hated getting traded to the Colts. And RSA just died, all that sort of stuff. Also, Gardner tying in. What's this? Yeah, Coach told you about that. What, dude? Goodyear. Remember all the work we did on Goodyear? and like how it's like Ohio and shit in like 100 years. Proven legendary. Ooh, I like that. They said this was a fucking miss. They said this was a miss. That's a miss. Come on, coach. That don't look like a fucking miss to me. It also don't look like a fucking football. Because that's some pretty good proof for coach. It's not even the right shape. What the fuck is that? The fuck is that thing? Ain't a goddamn football. Come on. Stupid. Alright. So, yeah, so that was like the game of the year. Seahawks, Rams, they're running that back in the... Oh, I didn't think about that. They might want to run that one back in the playoffs. I have to look over the bracket one more time. So Paul versus Josh was interesting, right? Anthony. That's like Carmelo Anthony. Martha Stewart got her toe broken by Jalen Brunson. I have no idea what to make of that, although it is very interesting that the Knicks are just like, Coach talked about this like a year ago or whatever. Like, why are they just loaded with Philly guys? And as they're talking like, has Carmelo Anthony become underrated? Of course, Coach is telling you. They just put him in the Hall of Fame and stuff, so. Yeah, so this was one. Just to let you know, Coach is serious about what he says. Coach threw $7 at it. That's not really characteristic for Coach, but 7 to win $1 million, and all we need to happen is the Sixers beat the Clippers and the Rams beat the Patriots. I'll take a shot at it. Like I said, that's Coach's philosophy. We only got to be right the one time. It's not as good as the Lions beating the Browns, but if this went down, I'd take it, I guess. Do you have any other good ones? Oregon's Rams beating the Patriots and the Angels, 50 cents wins $35,000. That's not bad. Alrighty, anyways, I appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts.